Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. This is the Pete's Parlay Show for NFL Week 7, College Football Week 8. I'm Peter Loshak, and this is, of course, the show where I review all the information I've gotten from professional handicappers and from Brent, the headlines manager at BetDSI over the past week, and I put together a little parlay based on all that information. And this week, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to throw in some of my own plays, my own handicapped plays, not plays from a professional handicapper that were recommended, not plays that Brent told me were sharp sides, just my own opinion. So hopefully that'll turn out okay. All right, there's going to be 7 teams this week. A lot of plays I'm liking in general. It's a little hard to whittle it down. 7 teams. I'm going to do a 4, 5, 6, and 7 round robin for $1.50. So this is going to be a big parlay. Let's go over the NFL lines that I didn't take. Almost took Kansas City. Jeff Cadillac likes Kansas City minus 6.5, and I did talk to Brent, and he said that there was a sharp action on KC on the money line when the first came out, but Houston has a they're starting a new quarterback. It's not clear. KC's probably the right side. It's probably a little bit of value there, but not going to put it in the parlay. Then let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, Detroit. Tony George liked Detroit minus 2.5 over Cincinnati. I agree with him. I think that's a solid play. Could have put it in the parlay, but decided not to. But I do agree with him. I think that's the right side. And then almost put San Francisco in the parlay. Troy West, I previewed the game with him. He liked San Francisco. He liked it at minus 4. Now it's minus 3. And when I talked to Brent about that game, he said he hadn't as yet gotten any sharp action on Tennessee on the other side. So I'm not exactly sure what's pushing that line down. But I thought that was very telling that he hasn't seen any sharp action on Tennessee. So, I like San Francisco. Troy likes San Francisco, but I'm going to leave that one out of the parlay. And then let's see. Yeah, what else? That's about it. As far as sharp action, Brent did tell me he took sharp action on Indianapolis at plus 7, though. Now it's 6.5, and that is also the side that Scott Kellen said he liked, Indy plus 6.5. It's probably the right side. Probably a little bit of value there, but I'm not going to touch it. Brent also told me that he's got the sharps and the public on the over in the Denver-Indy game, so that's very scary for him. Again, probably the right side, but I'm not going to put that in the parlay. He also told me he got some sharp action on Minnesota plus 3.5. Needless to say, I'm not going to tail that or put it in the parlay. And that's about it for the NFL. Then moving on to college, a lot of sides from college are going to come from the games that I previewed with these guys. One that almost made it was Oklahoma State over TCU. Troy West says he likes Oklahoma State minus 7. I don't think they lose this game. I almost took them on the money line, but decided in the end to pass. And then Steve from collegefootballwinning.com, always trust him at this point in the year. He likes USC plus 3 and Wyoming minus 6.5, and those are probably very solid plays, but didn't quite make the cut, didn't quite make it into my parlay. Then 2 plays I did take from Joe Duffy. I covered 2 games with Joe Duffy. Both of them, Joe Duffy agreed with my take on them, and both of them, I think, are probably pretty decent picks. First one, Georgia Vanderbilt. We agreed that Vanderbilt at 7.5, plus 7.5 at home was a good bet. We got into why in the video, and now they're just 7, but I'm still going to include them in the parlay at plus 7. And then South Carolina, Tennessee. Over 54. Tennessee, their strength is kind of on the offense, very weak on defense. We saw what South Carolina did on offense last week, so 54 looming a little bit low in my opinion. Joe Duffy agreed with me, and that's also going to make it into the parlay. In terms of sharp action, Brent tells me that there was sharp action on UCLA at plus 7. Now, of course, it's 4.5 or 4. Said the sharps came in on Florida at Pick'em and minus 2.5. That's an interesting call right there. FSU Clemson over 63, and that's a play that I agree with, but didn't quite like it enough to put it in the parlay. And also Texas Tech, West Virginia. Sharps came in on the over 55.5 and the over 56.5, and now it's 57. Probably the right side, but I'm not going to include it. All right, let's get down to the plays that I am going to include. Vanderbilt, plus 7. Already told you that. South Carolina, Tennessee, over 54. Then I'm also going to take Duke, Virginia, over 52. That just comes from me. I don't know if it's a sharp play or not, but Duke, of course, big passing team. Virginia's offense stepping up, and they can get burned. They gave like 48 to Ball State or something like that. Weather's okay. I'll take that one over 52. Then UCLA, Stanford, over 53. UCLA, huge passing game. Stanford's throwing deep now as well. I think one way or another at some point this game will get over 53. Then Utah State, New Mexico, over 52. I know Utah State's got a replacement quarterback, but I do trust them to be able to figure it out on offense. And New Mexico, of course, has played super high games this year, so I'll take that one over 52. And then the Dolphins' money line. Miami Dolphins money line. I previewed that game with Al McMorty. He said he liked Miami at -8.5. And I agreed with him. Now it's all the way down to 7, but I think Miami pulls that one out. And -335, these are all DSI lines. I'm going to include that one in the parlay. And then finally, one play that is a total that comes from Brent, not from me, is the Fresno State UNLV over, which is right now 74. He told me he got sharp action on 72.5 and then 73, I think, and 73.5. So I'm going to throw that one in. That makes sense to me. I'm going to take that one over 74. All the spreads and totals are -110, so that's 6 of them. Dolphins money line -335, and this is going to be a $1.50 round robin parlay, 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s, and that's 96, risking 96. And if all 7 of them hit, $1,553.52 is the payoff. And probably, if 5 or 6 of them hit, probably still have a very good week. So hopefully one of those things will happen. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you again next week.